Welcome to a tutorial, an advanced tutorial on the Color Swatch Manager. Now you can pick colors for particular things. As you can see here, we have some transcript clips which are with different colors for the outline or for the background. And the same with media clips, we can have different colors. And for tiers, we can have different colors in the media clips organizer. So these colors, you can just choose basic colors, but we have a more sophisticated way, so you can use presets which you can define, so you have some consistency across your transcripts or your projects or your DOTEbase, or across even all your DOTEbases, because these could be available for copying over into another DOTEbase. And we have some consistency here. So for example, this one here, if I want to edit this one, then you'll see we have some colors here. Turns out these colors are actually defined as presets, so I can reuse them very quickly. And with the presets up here, for any of clips, the more advanced level of preset, then we can save those and apply those color presets as a clip preset as well. So these colors, there is no button to open up the Color Swatch Manager, but as soon as you click on a color, this swatch here, you'll see we get the Swatch Manager opening up. And the Swatch Manager has several components. So one of the components is this color picker at the top, which allows you to have several different methods of choosing a color. And then we have some information, maybe using the hex number or RGBA number. These are different numbers for identifying a color within a color spectrum. And then some element here, some buttons to be able to do some work, as we'll see a bit later. And then showing you which colors there are at what level, what scope, and then a set of defaults and a set of other colors that might be named. So these defaults are always present. They are standard default colors that you can choose and know that they'll always be there. But sometimes it's best to choose colors and then give them names, and then you know that you're reusing the right one. So the Color Swatch Manager, you can just pick and choose anywhere. I'm just going to create a temporary dummy one. So let's say I want to do something here, and I create a clip, and then it's come up with this as a sort of default. I'll choose a background color as well. I'll choose a box which will have an outline. So we want an outline color and a background color. If I click here, you'll see this has no name. It's currently in this transcript, and I can move around, or I could slide this along, and you can see we can change the colors, how much richness, saturation there is, how much grayscale there is. And there's also a slider here for transparency. So for example, I might choose this color, and notice it's always changing here because I'm selecting it. But if I choose transparency, that means other things will come through. This won't be on top of other types of clips or colored objects, either on the media clip organizer, tiers, or in a transcript. So this is the number. You can see as I move this around, the numbers are changing. So these are very specific numbers, and there's a certain amount of transparency. It's the fourth number here, which is the A in RGB, red, green, blue, and this is a transparency marker. If I go to here, then you see it's no transparency, it's 1. And if I said 0 transparency, it would disappear, which is not so useful. It'd be 0. So if you could say, let's put it around here, so it has some transparency, other things can shine through, or when it's overlaid. And let's say, not a particularly nice color there, let's make it a greener color, let's say a green like that. That's going to be our box line color. And that's now done, because you can see it's changed there. If I just close that, and that is the new color. And the background color, I could choose another one. Let's say we wanted a very light color with a lot of transparency, so things can come through. And that now is our new color. Maybe that's a bit, so we can see a little bit of the blue, let's say like that. And there you can see the transparency, and there's the numbers, which you can of course copy paste, and if you have a number, you can put it in and then click here, and then that will become the color that you see in the color space here. So those are, we could also choose one from here. For example, we could choose this one. You can see that is pretty sort of purplish, but very, very light with no transparency. Let's bring a bit of transparency to it. And now I can click here and it's gone, and that is the new background color. If I say create, you can see we do have that little bit of a purple background and we have the green outline. So if I edit that again, you can see there's the colors. So that's the basic level, where you're using the color spectrum here, the color wheel, to pick a color, and you can choose it from this or transparency from here, and it shows you, but it has no name, so that color only has a code to be re-identify it. Whereas if you look down here, these are the defaults that you can choose. They have no name. But if you look down further, you can see we've used colors already here, and they have names. So countdown background, blue, that's a color that's been used because some of these colors don't have names because they're in the transcript. But here we see orange and yellow and black, brown, swearing, countdown. Let's say we wanted yellow, so we could just pick that, and then it says yellow here. It's now already identified what it is, and that is now the new color. And we could close that swatch manager, and then we could choose this and say actually we want a countdown background, and that's given us that countdown background. If we close that, we've now got, and if we save it, we've now got something a little different. And if we go back again, we'll see if I click that, we've got yellow. So now we have a preset yellow. If you are working with that and you want to save it again as a different yellow, then that will apply to all clips that have properties that have that particular preset color assigned. So if I've assigned yellow to many clips, they will all change. So to create a preset, for example, let's say we want to create a special preset. Let's say it's a pink. So we'll say it's this sort of pink with a little transparency. You can save as DOTE preset. So now if I save, preset name, I need to have a name. Oops, let's go back. Save as preset, provide a unique name. Let's say pink test, just so I know I can delete it later. And then select, here you want to select which DOTEbase to apply to, and we've only got one DOTEbase, so I'm going to say this one. And now if I save, because that's the name it's going to be given, the preset name, and then this is the places, because if you have multiple DOTEbases you might want it to be available in more than one. And now if I save, what we'll see down here is we have we should have pink test. Let's see in the DOTEbase. We should see a pink test have appeared here. Maybe it's when we save it, maybe it will appear. Let's see. So go back and then we open and see in the local, yeah, pink test. So it's a matter of saving. I was expecting it to appear immediately, but if you'll see, unless you save it, then it will not be renewed here. When you need to save and then go back, and then you'll see it appear. So we have pink test. We have these other colors which have been used already, the blue and this blue, but they have no name, so those are just colors that are available in this transcript. And that pink test is now available, and I could make a new, for example, I could make the background pink test. All I have to do is go down and then select it here, and now we have the same. So when I save that, now we've got pink outline and a pink outline and a pink background color. So there's no names here, but as soon as you click, you'll see it has pink test, and that pink test can be modified to a different color, such that it will keep the new color across a number of clips, because it's a preset that you've applied to many. Okay, so there's another aspect which is according to scope. Now we have locally in the transcript, in a transcript or a project, that's giving us what colors are available. But if we look in the DOTEbase, we'll find out that there's a lot more, because DOTEbase is looking through all of the different projects and transcripts in the current DOTEbase and then seeing what colors are available. And you can see there's quite a few colors available here. And a lot of those will be consistent, like we have swearing and orange. We have here swearing and orange. That's because they've been used again and again. And if we look across all DOTEbases, nothing will change because we only have one DOTEbase at the moment. As you'll see up here, here's one DOTEbase, there's no others. If you have multiple DOTEbases, then you'll get a long list showing you that there are actually other presets in other DOTEbases, and you could maybe borrow those and start using them in the current DOTEbase. But if you change them in a DOTEbase, then the changes don't apply to all DOTEbases. They only apply in the current DOTEbase if you change a colors value for a preset. So you have to be aware of that. They are really a DOTEbase level, but you can pick them up from other DOTEbases and apply them in yours. That means you can make a nice, very pretty template of colors, a set of swatches which are appropriate for your color scheme, for your coding of categorizing of particular phenomena, just to help you get a better sense just by glancing at them what they're about. So what I'll do now is I'll just cancel. What I can do is just delete that clip, so it's gone now, and you can see we do have some sort of color scheme here. Orange is a circle which has orange color. You can see it's used again here. All of these are using presets. Okay, so that's presets and using by scope. And now if I open in DOTE, we'll see it will open that transcript we were looking at. It's the same transcript. And now if we take a look at this one, you'll see it's got the colors, and if we have a look here, it's got the name countdown and it's listing some presets, but now only at the transcript or project level, because DOTE doesn't know about DOTEbase. It can't scan other projects. It's only looking at this current project. So if you want to make better swatches that are across your DOTEbase, you're going to have to work in DOTEbase. But if you've made some, as you see here, and I had made a new one, but I deleted that so that the color preset is gone, it's not being used anymore, then you can you can pick them off here, but you can't edit them, you can't save them. There's no save. So if you're working in the DOTE level for a transcript and editing it, then be aware that you can use presets made in DOTEbase, but you can't create presets because that's a DOTEbase function. So that's because DOTE is just for transcription, and it's working on a current project and a current transcript, whereas DOTEbase knows a lot more across projects and transcripts that are all collected together in one or more watch folders in a DOTEbase. Okay, hopefully that makes sense, and there are good reasons for this, and hopefully you following this video you'll make very good use of color schemes for some of those of you who are particular color philic and love colors. If you're color blind, then of course you could figure out which color schemes to use as presets that work best for you, but that's your choice. We'll finish up there and enjoy using colors in DOTEbase and DOTE.